All right, what's up, guys? Here we are, another episode of the Daily Grind. It's Matt Meehan and Anthony Dinova. Hey, I want to say thank you for everybody tuning in right now. We're going to talk to you about a lot of different stuff. Matt's going to give you the summary. Go ahead.
What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk a little bit about Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin's a definitely hot topic.
We're going to talk a little bit about China.
The Chinese, the New Year thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I definitely want to hear about that.
Tesla, monster loss that they posted.
I don't know how. Well, let's just go with the summary. I can't wait to talk about that.
You know.
Airbnb in Orlando, crypto bounty hunters. I want to be a bounty hunter.
What the fuck is a crypto bounty hunter?
I don't know, but I can't wait to talk about it. Amazon, Netflix. Hey, Mercedes-Benz came out with their new car. Hey, Jose, before we get started, could you show the viewers the new concept car for Mercedes?
Yeah.
It's a Maybach.
I haven't even seen this yet. What's it look like?
It's a Maybach that they're. Look at that car. That's a beaut. It's going for like, I guess, $500,000. I mean, that's a beautiful car right there.
They selling that over in China?
I'm just kidding. Show us the real one. Go ahead and pull up the real one. They're going to feature this car at the Pebble Beach. They have like a car show every year.
Mm-hmm.
And
we have some technical difficulties over there.
no, that's not it.
That's not it?
Go down. There it is, right there.
That's the new Maybach.
The Maybach 6 Cabriolet. They went with like a 1930s look.
Yeah, I could tell.
Look at that car, man.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
I love it.
Yeah, doesn't do anything for me.
It looks like a 1930 Batmobile.
It really does. It definitely
But I kind of like it. But anyways, all right, so back on to business. You want to talk about this Chinese New Year's thing?
Well, listen, it starts Friday.
Friday?
February 16th, yeah. Mm-hmm. Looks like they're going to shut down again for the whole month. You're not going to be able to get money in or out of China.
Dude, China never shuts down. You know, there's going to be like 20, 12-year-olds working in some like sweatshop factory, like making some Nikes that we're going to buy for $150 here in the U.S. and be like, oh my God, and then we're going to complain about like Black Lives Matter when they got like a 12-year-old with like their hands bleeding putting together Nike shoes.
Yeah.
You know that's how it's going to
I
happen.
think China's making some moves.
Was that too brutally honest for the show?
I think it was
Pretty spot on.
It was on point.
Pretty
to be honest with you. So it's the year of the dog. How many dogs do you think are going to get slaughtered over there this year?
Definitely not bringing my pooch. Every year, I think it's like every year it comes up on like your Facebook page, like a video of them like killing all these dogs because that's what they do.
Oh, they're brutal.
It's crazy.
They're brutal. I don't know. Would you ever eat dog?
No. It's disgusting.
I guess to each his own. It depends where you come from. I'm telling you right now, if it was the apocalypse and you had a dog in front of you and you were hungry, I bet you'd eat that dog.
And if you did have to eat the dog, which dog would you eat? Would you like, or if you had it, would you rather like do a pug or would you rather like be a German Shepherd? I mean,
I don't know. Probably a pug. They have a little bit more meat on their bones.
I don't even know why we're talking about this, but let's just go with it. All right, so let's move on.
Anyway, Tesla posted a monster loss. Did you see that?
Dude, I don't know how Tesla keeps losing all this money. It's like $650 million loss.
Listen, he's pulling because he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the net profit. I think they're having some manufacturing issues with the new models that they have coming out. But I don't know if you saw it when they launched his new rocket from Cape Canaveral, the SpaceX program. Yeah. He put a Tesla inside the rocket and sent it out there.
Because he knows his brand is like junk right now.
I don't know. He pulled some publicity stunt. It was really nice.
If it wasn't for the government like having intelligence related, financial backing, they want to put satellites in space and they want to put they have a reason to do that.
Well, listen, it's all being privatized right now. Let's face it. I mean, Trump just came out and said he wants to privatize the International Space Station in 2024. So
let me ask you a question. Did you know that the U.S. has they have like 20% of the lithium-ion battery market right now. So the batteries that are used in these electric cars like Tesla, a lot of those what do they call that? The mining of it. Like the mineries are in the Congo in Africa, right? So the U.S. actually is way behind. China owns 80% of this market.
Yeah, China's big.
So it's kind of interesting that you say that China's
really big in self-driving cars. All this, they've been big in the technology space for those batteries.
Well, they're the largest electric car manufacturer in the world.
Yeah.
So they have a huge monopoly on that market right now. And I find it interesting. Remember Elon went over there actually like 6 months ago because he wanted to change how their cars were being manufactured because they were originally manufactured.
I didn't see that, no.
Yeah, they were originally manufactured here. They're changing it up. So I think they're going to change it up. But more importantly, I think China is they're not going to take a month off. They'll pretend they're taking a month off.
No, listen, they don't innovate anything. They imitate everything. I mean, if you look at every major technology company that was in the U.S. here, look at Amazon. They have Alibaba, right? If you look at eBay, they have Taobao, which is just like the eBay of China, right? Priceline, they have Ctrip, and they just imitate everything over here, and they control it within their own country.
Right.
Even for Facebook, you can't go on Facebook in China. You got to use RenRen.
Yeah.
For WhatsApp, they have WeChat.
Hey, WeChat is one of the fastest growing apps in the country.
Yeah. So you know what? You know what they are actually leading the way in?
What?
Facial recognition technology. Okay. They put in some crazy camera system. I don't know if you can find anything on that, Jose. But now their police officers are actually wearing smart glasses so they can facially recognize criminals on the street.
I think that and the cameras that are going up on the lights and
that's what they did. They put like one of the biggest surveillance systems in the world all around the country.
Talk about Big Brother.
Tell me about it. Even another one right here, YouTube, they have E02. They don't even change the name. It's pretty crazy.
They pretty much are. I thought, yeah, you're right. Alibaba is a Chinese company. I thought it was an Indian company. But should we get into this little debate, this little war? Or are we going to wait and talk about China some more?
This is crazy. So the police officers are walking around with these high-tech glasses on, something out of what was that movie, Judge Dredd or Minority Report? So they know you're a criminal right then and there. It's pretty insane.
That's serious.
I wouldn't want to be a criminal out there in China because you're not going to no comfy American prison.
They put it on so they can watch the slaughter of the dogs.
That's pretty
Crazy.
That's pretty crazy. So
let's talk about Amazon.
What do you want to talk
You
about?
and I are not going to agree on this subject to 100%. Listen, last week,
What?
you love Amazon.
Yes, I do.
And I do like Amazon. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of fluff in Amazon. Amazon's like the nicest balloon in the market, but it has the most helium. Does that make sense?
Not at all.
All right.
You're absolutely dead wrong.
Okay.
They're firing on every single cylinder possible. They're in your house. They're in shipping right now. They're in advertising.
And I understand what
They're
you're
in
saying.
retail.
But keep in mind, I'm watching the stock market drop 1,000 points the other day.
Okay.
Okay. I'm looking at Netflix. I'm looking at some regular. I'm not just looking at tech companies. I'm looking at some other companies too, right? In tech specific, like in Netflix and Amazon, when that 100-point drop went down, or even Friday, when it was down 500 points, when the market was down 500 on Friday before it rebounded, the put option. If you know anything about options, you can basically an option is when you can. Most of the viewers probably don't know this. So an option is when you can buy a stock option, like you're planning on it going down. So if say Amazon's at $1,300 a share, you want to play it to go down to $1,200. Well, that $1,200 option is going to have a certain bid on it. Maybe it's $25. Okay. Well, guess what? On Friday, the options for the puts planning on it going down were up 900,000%. And when you compare that to other stocks in different industries,
What was the strike price on them? Because it all really matters there. The strike price on the put. What we used to do back in the day, puts are a great strategy, but I don't go out and I don't buy puts because it's a risky gamble.
I
If
agree.
you want to get into a stock at a lower price, what you do is you go and write the puts. Right? By writing them means you're selling them before you actually own them, and somebody's paying you. So if it doesn't hit that strike price, right?
yeah.
You don't get put the stock and you keep the premium.
But here's
It's
the
in
thing. You know which stocks have more, I think, fluff.
It's not fluff, it's volatility. But you have to understand the way the company. I mean, let's pull up. Can you pull up a 1-year chart on Amazon for me?
It went down 60 points.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. It
March-
doesn't matter the strike price because if you go plus or minus
it's up-
100 points
it's up
on
30
Amazon,
it's up
they were
37.
all up 800% or
up-
down 800%. Your options.
But yeah.
So there's a lot of fluff in my opinion. In
It's not fluff, it's volatility. That's why you follow the VIX, right? Anything that trades from 800 in March of last year all the way upwards of $1,400 a share,
Right.
do the math on that.
But if you're using VIX as your standard,
Do the math on that. That's a 50% return.
I get it.
Okay.
But if you let's go what you're saying though. Let's say the VIX is your standard line that you're trying to Everything does have volatility, but not every option was down 400, 700% or more
That's because money's coming out of these companies. You have to understand.
at a faster rate, which means that there's more fluff.
It's not, I wouldn't call it fluff. It's called people lowering their positions. You have to understand, when you're dealing with fast technology, moving companies, Facebook out there, they're going to move at a faster rate up and down than any of these other situations out there, than a defense company, for example. You know, General Dynamics is not going to move as fast as Amazon.
Well, you know what's interesting?
In either direction.
Twitter didn't move much at all.
Yeah, well,
They posted their first profit.
and I think the market had a lot to do with that, because, you know, people going into the sidelines when you have a point decrease like that.
Twitter's posted their first profit.
Well, the stock, if the market wasn't dropping the way the market was dropping, right, which is a healthy, natural correction, okay, Twitter would have performed a lot better than it did. But again, you got to look at what you're doing. Are you trading for the long term, or are you swing trading or day trading?
Why do you think Twitter made its first profit?
I guess
know why.
new management. I don't know. I couldn't really tell you. I really didn't get. I don't really look into it.
Because 21% tax bracket now. Hands down, like, who can't post a profit when you're not paying 40% in taxes? It's a joke. But it's a joke that the United States would even have a 40% tax bracket.
Well, back to Amazon. Look, if you're buying stocks for the long term, I'm saying you don't care what happens in the micro, but you're looking at the macro of the situation, right? You're 10, 15 years out. Yeah, buy the stock, because I guarantee it won't be at 1,300. If you're looking to buy the stock and, you know, make some money on it next month or in 90 days, you're playing Wall Street's game. We used to trade stocks upon earnings releases all the time.
$1,000 a share. I mean, $1,300 a share. You don't think there's fluff into that?
Not at all. Not at all. You have to seal the Amazon boxes at my house every single day.
Oh, I know.
And I'm just like the rest of America. And let me explain something to you. They're getting the food business, right? He doesn't care about profits.
That's interesting. Talk more about the food business, because I just read an article about that as well.
They bought Whole Foods, right? So now that actually gives them retail locations around the country. It saved them 10 years by them buying out Whole Foods.
And they also are going to start competing against UPS and FedEx.
Yes, this is true.
I saw that.
So actually, one of my clients is they're bringing on their own logistics companies, which they will probably be buying out. But one of my clients is he delivers for Amazon. They only have 50 carriers. What they're going to do is they're going to consolidate that space, roll up all these carriers into one, and have a company that rivals UPS and FedEx.
You know what's funny is I think that it's total fluff. Here's why. Just because you're Amazon.
Stop using the word fluff. What is fluff?
I mean,
what
unless
do you mean fluff.
Just because they're consolidating, like Amazon's great in terms of trying to figure out how to reduce price and be like the Walmart of the 90s. You know, like, they're great at lowering costs. But here's the thing. I don't care who you are. If you're going into a different industry, like shipping, like, you're not going to be able to control the price of oil. Like, all these companies, YRC, you have New England Motor Freight, you have all these big companies that are, that are definitely, they're in that realm. And you're going to tell me that because you're Amazon, just because you're big, now you're going to figure out how to be in their space and master their game now?
Yes.
No way.
100%.
No way.
Because they're going to leverage technology that's coming out, right?
Oh, so are they going to get the buses that Elon Musk still can't make, or what? I mean, if they get those,
yeah, they're probably already working on them.
Probably, if they can make it happen, yes. But the thing is when you're going into that space, the amount of money it costs to make that technology offsets your margin in the future.
Logistics companies do not have big margin to begin with, right? Because
that's my point.
Yeah.
So you're not going to make that money on.
But it's okay because they don't have to make money on the logistics side of the business. They can increase the prices in other areas where they can go to prime shipping and increase that by 30%. So let's say I have to pay $130 instead of $100. I'm going to do it. So they're going to make up margins there. So the overall company, they can cut costs in certain areas.
You know, I think that they're just stepping out of their realm of things that they know how to do. It's kind of like Disney buying ESPN. Like, Disney is a event creative company.
No, Disney is a technology company.
I would argue. I don't think Disney's a technology company at all.
Disney is a technology company.
I think
Disney has stepped around and they've bought ESPN. They own ABC. They bought Fox. They just switched from Netflix to Hulu, right? To get into that space. They're a technology company.
Have you noticed that they really don't know what they're doing trying to be a technology company?
How do you figure?
Because ESPN's sales are they're awful. They're awful compared to when they first bought them.
Well, they may not know how to run everything.
Exactly, because they're not a media
at this
company.
point in time. What do you mean they're not a media company?
Disney is not in the new. It's not like News Corp. That's not Disney. Disney.
And let me tell you,
Disney
how
is-
did News Corp run their business?
Disney is an innovative imagination kind of company. It's an event amusement. It's definitely a creative company, but it's not really a technology company. If you want to argue that point, I would say Universal has them. I mean, in terms of media and creativity and engineering, Universal's got them smoked all day. I don't think Disney's like that at all. I think Disney's the.
Listen, you're smoking something. We're going to move on to the
All
next
right.
topic because we are not agreeing on this.
That's good though, because you know what? We're not going to agree on everything.
You see Instagram's new feature that's coming out?
No, tell me more.
If you're creeping on Instagram and you're... so
Tell me.
if you're taking, what do you call it, screenshots of other people's stuff, Instagram's going to start letting you know. They're going to give you one warning and say if you do it again, the person's going to be known that you took their screenshot. What do you think about that?
That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
So if you're
they're testing this new feature right
So
now.
if you see like some girl in like some like
See some
scantily dressed
girl,
clothes and you take a picture of it
let
and
me
send
get
it to your
this
buddy,
and then send it to your buddy, guess what? That girl's going to know that you took a screenshot of her picture.
I feel like
But again, let's call a spade a spade. She wouldn't be scantily dressed and put it on Instagram if she didn't want people to see it anyway.
but the screenshot happens with the hardware on your phone. So technically, the screenshot isn't something that like it's not happening within that app. It's happening within your
Listen, that's
on
above
your
my
phone.
pay grade. But
So I don't know how that will like actually play out.
They already started testing it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be somebody else that comes out with a device to not allow them to know that, right?
Yeah,
Just like anything else.
or the
Another app.
argument, or the argument like this is my space. Like you can't tell me what I can do with a screenshot and what I can't. You know. So it'd be interesting. So the stock market has been going up and down. What do you think is going to happen the next week?
Honestly, I think it's a healthy correction.
You think it's go down more? Can it go up? What do you think?
We're in 10%. We're in correction territory. We haven't had a correction in what? A long, long time. I'd like to see it go a little bit lower, step in, create some buying opportunities. But, right now I'm not really thinking too much about it. I kind of like it when people just read headlines and get scared. I mean, the media does a great job at that for you.
Exactly.
So if you sit back and you have some cash, it's a great buying opportunity.
Well,
Even though we talked about Bitcoin crashed. I think Bitcoin might be a buy right here. I'll start stepping in. But did you see this
don't
new
think so.
thing? Did you see the
bounty hunter stuff.
crypto bounty hunters? That's the new thing.
That's
These ICOs are going out there
Is
and
it
they're
ke-
hiring people, cybersecurity teams, and they call them crypto bounty hunters to go in and try to penetrate these exchanges to see if they could steal from them.
That's because it's that unregulated and that risky, and that's why the utility on Bitcoin sucks right now.
100. You're in a negative mood today, huh?
No, I just think Bitcoin's
Sucks,
fluff.
that sucks. It sucks.
Bitcoin
Disney
is a
sucks.
joke.
The happiest place on the world. It sucks.
Everybody's all, everybody gets so into Bitcoin and this, that, and the other, and this idea. The problem with Bitcoin is that you sell the mom and pops this, or like the young kid, the young millennial. Hey, here's how you get rich quick, kid. And of course, they're gonna fall into it, just like they were back in 2005 when they were buying their house, when the strippers down at the nightclub were buying their fifth or sixth house, but they only were making $80,000 a year.
Absolutely.
Like, dude, that's not what life's about, man. And life is about the grind. It's about the hustle. It's about the continued, persistent, day on day, time on task action, 15 hours a day for 10 years that puts you in the $1 million status. And there's the BS. Oh yeah, one guy got. Don't sell me on some story that one guy got rich off of this. Good for him. I don't care about his money because at the end of the day, that guy who got rich real quick doesn't have shit compared to me
listen,
in
if I-
life.
if I told-
So I would never sell that. I would never lead with that, and that's the problem with Bitcoin. Everybody's leading with the idea that I'll become rich quick instead of the idea that, I'm going to develop myself as a human being and better myself the right way. And that's my problem with Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, it's in the headlines for a get-rich-quick scheme. Definitely agree with that. But, people are using it the wrong way. It's like they were becoming day traders in the 90s. Everybody was a stock market millionaire on paper, and then it all crashed. Same exact thing, but the technology is real. Blockchain's real.
I get that.
Right?
But
but
until it gets regulated, it's not
people
going to...
running it. Well, the SEC's already said they're going to take over, but they have no idea on how to stop the theft of these coins. I mean, think about it. We talked about it last week. You had somebody in London that was a Bitcoin trader. He had all his coins on a stick, on his hard drive. They held him at gunpoint and made him transfer all the files to him. Now that guy owns all the Bitcoin. Think about that. I can't walk into a bank. They're not going to give me $10 million, you know?
Yeah. But it's real.
Most people that become rich overnight, and they're far and few between, lose everything just as fast because they don't appreciate it.
Right.
Right? And most people that you think became rich overnight weren't. It took 10, 15 years. What you see of them today was not where they started. It's very simple.
Yeah, I might just speak from personal experience. Like that flip I'm doing, actually that investment property that I have, I'm trying not to flip it. I'm trying to keep it. But I'm waiting on this legislation to come back. That's getting voted on, I think, today or this week. For
the Airbnb,
the
right?
Airbnb in Orlando. I want to find out. I think basically if you're the tenant, or if you have an Airbnb, you have to be either the tenant or the owner, and you have to be present to rent it.
Is that what it is? I thought they were going to amend it to allow it for all residential property in Orlando.
Yes, but I think there's some stipulations. I think the stipulations, because before you could never have a short-term rental less than 30 days.
Okay.
So now they might allow it, but what they're saying is, I think if you're going to do it, you have to be either the tenant or the owner, and you have to be present.
Okay.
So that's
you
kind
know
of
what? They're going to find a way around that because they outlawed it in Miami, and what these people did was they don't actually rent the property from you. They pay you a concierge fee.
Right.
You're just staying there. You know? Like I said, anytime legislation is made, right, one way or another, there's one side working for it and one side working a workaround around it.
You know what's interesting too is like people are going to get caught up in this, and then they're not going to know if they can or can't do it. Well, Orlando doesn't own all the property. Only incorporated city of Orlando that applies to.
Okay.
So there's a lot of unincorporated. Like St. Pete, have you ever seen how much of a dump St. Pete is?
No, you know.
Outside of like the beach property?
I'm still new. I'm only down here 2 years,
Okay,
right?
well-
I'm still trying to learn. It's very different than where it was back home.
Well, basically, being incorporated is a good thing because they have like a lot of zoning laws. And it's better for the government, and it's better for people to have zoning laws in general, to have a incorporated city like Orlando because it's beautiful, right? But sometimes the drawback is you have to abide by their zoning laws, their regulations. Well, there's a lot of property in Orlando that is not incorporated, and that way, so in those
So it's unincorporated Orlando?
yeah. So actually, my property in general is like it's unincorporated, so I don't actually have to follow their rules at all.
Okay, so it's basically like having an HOA.
Yeah, like
right?
I can
For the
rent my
city.
property out
And you can do
regardless of
whatever
what
you want
or City
to.
of Orlando says.
So
Because it's
now, could you
my
turn-
property's located in
Now,
an
would you be able to
unincorporated area.
so you'd be able to put commercial right there if you wanted to then?
No,
No, you
there's
can't.
still
Okay.
there's still some regulation in terms of. I mean, neighbors are obviously that's not
of course, 100%. Not saying you want to, but I don't know. That's not my realm. I really don't.
You'd have to fall into the City of Orlando's incorporated area for that new law. So I'm interested to see it because it's going to set a lot of precedents for everything else.
Yeah. I mean, the city has a lot to do down here. There's a huge homeless population. You see all the homeless people that are downstairs from this building? You can see constantly.
Unless this is a totally different subject. I really don't. I don't like the idea of homelessness in general, and I don't like the idea of poverty, in the sense that the minute you wake up, if you're born in America and your mom and dad are addicted to drugs, let's say your mom's addicted to cocaine and your dad's alcoholic, or your mom's addicted to crack. I don't care what you say. I don't care. This whole idea that you were born into this hard life. Oh my God, it's so tough in America. It's so much bullshit. Like the minute you're born into the crack home in the ghetto in America is the minute you are born as a king compared to other countries. I've been to India. I've watched 15 people pile up in a room smaller than this. And guess what? Their teeth are freaking falling apart. I don't want to hear that mom and daddy were poor and now this is the reason why you're struggling in life with a 3% unemployment rate right now. Like, listen, unless you have mental diseases, there's a reason, like you are literally physically incapable of working, there should be no reason for you to find a job. Now, I'm all about the services that provide the transition. I love that aspect. Like, let's find that. But there are way too many people unemployed, way too many homeless people, and there's way too many jobs for them to work. So the idea of it really doesn't sit well with me. But within all those people, I know
That's the thing. They don't want to work those jobs. They're too good for them.
well, there's some people that have mental diseases that they're schizophrenic, they're whatever it is. They have a lot. There's some issues out there, and I believe in providing housing for them. I definitely believe, listen, take some of my money out of my paycheck every single month and give it to those people, because that's what we need. We're here together to take care of those people. But the minute somebody takes advantage of that system is the minute I'm like, I'm gonna take my money and my hand back. and you're going to go provide for yourself.
Well,
you
yeah.
know,
Well, here is more. Listen, I came from New York City, man. I was in Manhattan every day. I see it here in this city more than I saw it in New York.
it's crazy.
It's insane. Now, somebody told me. I don't know how true it is. I'm not even gonna go there. Let's move on. But yeah, right now we're gonna take a break.
With that said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back.
Yep.
All right, what's up, everybody? So we're back. I want to say thank you again for tuning in to the Daily Grind, and this is obviously presented by Against the Mirror. Me and Maddie, we're going to talk a little bit about Elon Musk, Tesla, the rocket launch, because I feel like that's
SpaceX.
That's talk about more. What do you think about it? Just recently they sent a rocket up over at Cape Canaveral.
Listen, I think he's doing some amazing things. He's pretty. He's got some audacity to him to even dream of doing these things. He's actually doing them. I mean, the guy started out. He was part of the PayPal mafia. They called it with Peter Thiel, Reid Hoffman. Right? They invented PayPal. They sold it out to eBay. They took their money. I think he lost all his in a divorce. And then he was borrowing money, and next thing you know, we have Tesla, we have SpaceX, and he's like a mad scientist.
Did you know he stole Johnny Depp's girlfriend, Amanda Heard?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he stole his girlfriend.
That's the rumor on the street, man.
Good for him.
I guess.
Well, I think Johnny Depp was going broke anyway, so she had to move on.
Yeah, and Johnny Depp is, dude, that guy's talented as hell. I met him in San Diego one time.
But I mean, this guy's really trying to put people on Mars by 2024.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing about Elon. He's trying to put people on Mars. He's trying to make Model 3 cars. Like, dude, Elon Musk is such a joke. I'm just going to say it. You're a joke, okay? First off, you put a car on the actual launch, like a model of one of the cars. Why? Because you can't. You're literally making one of the 1,500 cars that you made last year, the Model 3s, by hand in factories because you don't know how to make them. Like, you present yourself as this billion-dollar guy, and all you can do is produce 1,500 measly Model 3s.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say you're absolutely wrong. And again, I don't know what you're on. He said
he was gonna make $150,000 cars a year by January.
Okay.
All he made was 1,500 cars, and the reason I don't know how his stock price did the same, but there were reports that like his factories in the U.S. they were making them by hand, like basket weaving. That's how much of a joke you
I
are.
don't know about first-hand knowledge, but I would say he's the furthest thing from a joke that there actually is.
Oh, I disagree. I think he's a joke of like a founder. I don't think he's like real. Like he's got his head in the sky.
Listen, so you could have said that about anybody, right? Steve Jobs, anybody else who wants to change things, they gotta dream big, and so, you don't see the full picture of that what they see. I mean, he's changing the way we drive. Right? He's getting electric cars out there. He's already done it. He's sent what did he do? He stopped these battery walls. He sent them all to Puerto Rico recently.
I like that. That
right?
part was good. I like that.
He's shooting rockets off into space.
That was a political move, by the way.
Listen, I love the guy. And who cares? He put a fucking Tesla in a rocket and shot it off. Good for him.
The thing is that
it's great promotion.
Here's the thing. He's got his worst loss ever, $657.
It doesn't matter to him. He doesn't care about that.
That's my point. That's why I have a problem with it.
He's not playing Wall Street's game. He has a vision that he's going out to conquer. He doesn't care what else. It doesn't matter to him.
There's people out there that are investing in that vision. So here's my problem. One, you're not delivering on what you're talking about. You have to deliver in business. What you say, how you say it, needs to be delivered on. So if I tell you, Maddie, I'm going to sell $5 million in real estate next year, and I sell one, or I sell $50,000 in real estate, and I said, I was going to sell five, because this is a realistic comparison. I'm going to tell you, Maddie, I'm going to sell $5 million in real estate, which I've done, by the way. But if I don't, and I sell $50,000 in real estate, which is pretty much the comparison to what Elon Musk was saying, I'm going to make 150,000 cars by January. This was January this year. It's already passed, okay? And you only made 1,500, but yet you're selling this to the Wall Street and the rest of the world in your customers, and you can't deliver on your promises. I have a problem with that. I think you're a joke. 1,500 cars is a joke.
Listen, things happen in business every day. Plants shut down, plants go up. You can't get supplies in. It doesn't matter, right? Things happen. What you have to do is just put your head down and go back to work. The guy works like an animal. He works 100 hours a week. I think one of his quotes is, work 100 hours a week until you can hit your goals.
Yeah, well, I think he's a joke right now.
You know?
Until he can get until he starts talking and delivering on what he's talking about, I see him as a joke. I used to think he was the man. I was like, that dude's the man. But the minute you step out and you say, oh, I'm going to make 300,000 cars by this time, and you're making 1,500, or... I mean, it's just not good business for me. It's just like leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Just say, hey, listen, I can't do this right now. I'm making mistakes. I'm rearranging. I'm restructuring my company.
Unfortunately, you can't
sell that.
Unfortunately,
because that's realistic.
You can't do that, right? You can't do that on Wall Street because all the money's going to pour out of your company.
So now what you're saying is,
listen, Wall Street's a bad animal. It should be a private company, not a public company, and I think he knows that as well.
So
right?
you
have to deal with Wall Street's expectations every 90 days. Okay, so when you need new investment in your company, what are you going to do? You're going to go out and you're going to sell yourself,
or lie in this case.
He didn't lie. He sold himself. If he really believed he wanted to do it and he fell short, he fell short. There's a million things that I want to do in life that I say I'm going to get up off the ground and start doing it tomorrow, and I don't do it. Every Monday I'm going to the gym. I don't go. Am I lying? No, I just didn't make it there. But one day it will get done.
I get it.
And then you know what? You're going to jump on the bandwagon. You're going to be a bandwagon fan when he is. You know, you can't love a guy when he dreams big. Okay?
I'm going to interject.
You can't love a guy when he dreams big, and then when he wins, say I was a fan.
No, I get
you got to be with him through the losses too.
I hear you.
You're a bandwagon fan,
dude. I've been a Knicks fan forever. Okay, so we haven't won a championship in forever. So I get it. Even I hated Carmelo, even though they helped him start winning games. But listen, what it affects you. If you don't go to the gym, it just affects you. When Elon doesn't perform, millions of investors are affected by it. So there's a big difference between you producing and him not producing. You know what I mean? So if you're trying to sell yourself, I think you should just be a little bit more real and say, hey, listen, I would like to do this by then. But we have a lot of obstacles to overcome. That tells me that your ambition is there. I love that. I can buy into that. But now I know the risk. You don't have the capacity to do what you want to do yet. And just say that. Otherwise, you're lying to Wall Street and you're lying to the investor. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think he's lying. I don't think he's lying at all.
I think you're lying when you're...
No, he has the right intent. He's trying to
It's a white lie.
And things happen.
It's fluff.
It's not...
It's back to my fluff.
Fucking fluff. You and this fucking fluff. It's something that goes on the sandwich, buddy. It's made on marshmallows.
Hey, I love fluff, by the way. Peanut butter and fluff is amazing. But Elon Musk is all
I knew
fluff.
I hated you. I hate peanut butter.
I talk about guys who sell these stock market. I talk to people all the time that sell
Can you
Tesla.
pull up fluff? He doesn't know what fluff is. Can you pull up a picture of fluff? Let me show you what fluff is.
All right.
This is fluff.
All right.
Some nasty white marshmallow stuff.
It's not nasty, buddy. It's amazing. If you put that on peanut butter and like a nice loaf of bread, it's unbelievable. It's like the best little snack ever. But it makes you feel bad afterwards.
How's that fluff? You find the picture of fluff?
Listen, if you eat too much fluff and the peanut butter, or you have like 2 sandwiches, you go on like sugar high and your stomach feels terrible.
So when
it's the same thing when you invest $100 million in a Tesla and then
after you eat all that fluff, you go out and you lie to Wall Street. That's what you're telling me right now. You lie to Wall Street, and you rob people. That's what you're saying right now.
I think he is robbing the average everyday investor.
How is he robbing the average everyday investor?
Because he's not delivering. Have you ever watched Richard Branson, the guy from the U.S. Virgin?
What about him?
That dude was legit.
It's fluff. Fluff.
That is not Richard Branson.
That's fluff.
That's amazing. That's
gross. How do you even eat
I'm going to make you a fluff sandwich next time I come in here.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
I'm going to make you eat it.
Not interested. But,
So check it out. Let's talk about Richard Branson for a second, dude. The U.S. Virgin Airlines. That dude is legit. Not U.S. He's from Britain. So this guy faced the government itself in commercializing the plane industry, and he won. That's the difference. Is that he delivered on what he was saying, and that until Elon delivers, I'm telling you right now, Elon, you're a joke. Until you deliver on what you're saying, you're a joke, and you need to quit lying to the average everyday investor because you're hurting them. A $657 million loss. How many more years are you going to lose before you tell the investor, hey, I'm losing right now? I need you to still give me money because I'm going to still lose for another 3 years. Just be real. Just tell everybody, hey, I'm going to lose for another 3 to 5 years. But when we make it in the black in 5 years, that's when you'll start making the gains. I'm cool with that. If you sell me that story, okay, cool. We're good. Here's another $100 million.
But let me ask you something. You know, Richard Branson also came out, I think it was back in the 90s, and he tried to start a soda company called Virgin Soda. Oh, you don't remember that?
He did.
What
And
happened?
He failed.
And he failed.
And guess what?
Exactly. Wait a second.
He didn't
One more
lie to
second.
everybody, though. He's failed and he opened it.
And what happened when he said, I'm going to be the first guy in a hot air balloon to travel around the world? What happened?
I think
Oh, it popped. No, he failed at that too.
You know
Listen,
what?
you could look at anybody.
But that's like
everybody
Elon.
has failures in life, right?
Yeah.
It's what you do and how you pick yourself up and you keep moving forward.
Well, here's the deal.
So you listen. I can look at you and I can find failures. God knows you can find plenty on me. But to sit here and call somebody out that's a multi-billionaire that's changing the way the world thinks and works is absolutely insane.
But here's the difference. You know why Richard Branson's so amazing?
Let me hear this.
He was better than Elon, and Elon's great at this, by the way. You are good at this, but because you produce more fluff and marketing for yourself by putting a car up there in the universe. But Branson, when he's doing a hot air balloon skit, he was just doing it for the marketing aspect of it.
Yeah.
And
in Virgin Cars too in 2000.
But you have a good point. I cannot.
Virgin Cars in 2000? Oh, that failed. You didn't even hear about that one,
I
did you?
agree with the
But I'm
fact.
sure he lost investors' money on that as well.
I agree. But I think he was quick to recover his losses and say, I'm jumping out of the space. We've been in Tesla here for a few years now.
And the stock price has performed ultra well. If you would have bought Tesla,
you
would have bought Tesla 5 years ago, you'd be real happy right now.
That's what scares me is that it
So
is
what do
performing
you?
so well.
So take your profits. So he's made people a shitload of money. A shitload of money. So nobody else seems to be worried but you. So if you don't want to invest in Tesla, don't do it. But do not put down Elon Musk.
Tesla's like WorldCom.
You're crazy.
Enron. Yeah, I'm going to be the first person to play the option. I'm going to be that guy that makes $1 billion off of Tesla when it crashes because everybody realizes it's like nothing. It's worth nothing. Why is it worth nothing? Because you can't make 1,500 cars. And when you make 1,500 cars, you literally have people putting them together by hand. I'm going to master the automobile industry by putting together cars with a crescent wrench. Like, get out of here, dude.
Listen, let me leave you with one thing. Everybody fails. Everybody fails. And the people that fail most succeed most.
Or they just go out of business.
No, they succeed most.
I agree.
Every failure
They can
leads
turn
you
it
to a
around.
success.
I agree. Well, I don't think every failure is a success. I think it's a learning experience.
No, every failure leads you to a success, is what I say.
I agree. Leads you, yes.
And we all know Richard Branson. I think I just named about 7 of them. Your boy. And Elon Musk. No, he's doing his thing. He's an innovator of our time.
Let's see what Tesla right now is performing at. Let me just see. It's like probably $350 a share. $311 a share.
So yeah, let's talk about this for a second. I'm glad you brought that up. So it's at $300 a share. Where did it IPO at? Because I was buying that stock at $50 and it went to $200 in like 3 months.
I know they have a lot of sunshine investors though.
What does that mean?
Sunshine investors.
Fluff, sunshine.
These investors aren't.
What does that mean?
They think in ideals. The ideal is great. Let's have this electric car, but like if you want to invest your money, invest it into Toyota. Toyota makes the most electric cars in the world.
Listen, stocks and growth stocks in general, which is what Tesla is, perform on what they're going to do, not what they've done in the past. That's why the price fluctuations are huge, and the run-ups are huge as well.
Tesla has a lot of sunshine investors. They only come out when it's sunny. They think they think ideals. They think like Avatar. Oh, this is Avatar. We're gonna have the next car, and it's gonna be beautiful, and everything's gonna be amazing. They have a lot of sunshine investors. Yeah. It's all fluff, though.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Until they make the cars.
Can you pull up Yahoo Finance for a second? And
pull
up a chart of Tesla for me over the last 5 years. Finance.
They've done actually really well. And that's what I'm saying.
It's been really sunny for those sunshine investors, I'll tell you that.
But what happened?
Let's see. $20 a share.
Which that you want?
TSLA.
TSLA.
TSLA is right here. Put in TSLA. I'm not disagreeing that they haven't gone. I know they've gone up. But
it's a sunshiny day.
It's
been a sunshiny 5 years.
It's like people buying.
I'll take sunshine for 5 years.
It's like people buying. I don't want to use any like bad words. Like I'm gonna just say it. Ready? www.sex.com
Is the one?
was like a domain.
Is that it?
Okay.
Back in the .com boom, that was worth $1 million, right? But there was no substance behind it. So my point
How is
is,
there no substance? He has the technology. Even if he can't produce the cars at a speed that he wants to produce them at, he owns all the technology behind it. I mean, look.
Okay, let's go on with that.
Okay, first of all, Tesla. Let's break it down a little bit more. It's not just cars. They're getting into solar powered energy. We already established the fact that he sent over these solar walls to Puerto Rico. So he's establishing those. He's going to put
which
those.
is a great marketing play, by the way. I love that marketing play.
Listen, it's
Geopolitical.
a marketing play, whatever.
Puerto Rico's having a tough time. Let's use that as like a way to give me more
whatever you want to call it.
More advertising.
Whatever you want to call it, it's great.
It was great
And if I could do it, I'd do it tomorrow.
I agree with you.
And if you could do it, you know you do the same thing. So stop hating. This is what we call a hater. Next, let's move on. These walls are going to go into every single house in America, right?
That's not Tesla.
These batteries. That's not Tesla. This is
Tesla's at $300 a share. So let's go TS.
TSLA up here.
I think you just put it.
Oh,
in
you can put it
quote
right
up.
there. Yeah. It's actually
Hold on.
right there.
Right at
Yep.
the top one.
So let's back up for a second.
$311
So
a
these
share. Go to the 5-year and go to the
5-year
max.
chart.
And it's only like
it's
a
up
few years old.
1,800%. 1,800%. So let's get this straight. So if you were to put $10,000 in Tesla at $20 a share, and it's worth $300 right now, what would that be worth today?
I can't disagree with you.
So
this is the .com boom all over, man.
the .com boom, the market's been up for 10 years.
Everybody argued the technology's there. Well, listen, the technology was there in the .com boom, but just because the technology is there doesn't mean www.cars.com is actually worth $1 million. That's what happened in the
and
.com
bus
boom.
cycles. That's the way the world works. You
I
should know it.
I
You're in
get-
real estate for 7
Trust me,
years.
I get it. I've
We're
ridden
in the
waves.
tail end of a boom cycle. Yes, we will have a bus cycle, and I will be buying these companies when they come down.
These companies,
just like
just like
everybody
Tesla.
said, Apple wasn't worth it. Apple came down. You could have picked up Apple at $100 a share.
So do you think
when
Tesla
the
will come
market
down?
came down?
Do you
Yeah,
think
I do think it'll come down. I think you'll get a better buying point.
And why do you think it'll come down?
What? Because I think the overall market's inflated.
Do you think this company's inflated more than most?
Yes. That's
Okay, thank you. So there's a little fluff in there.
Not inflated. The beta, right?
Okay.
Beta is how you trade with the market.
All right.
The beta is higher. So when you have a higher beta stock, it trades ahead of the market, right? Or
course.
so if the market goes up 1 point, this will go up 3 or 4.
I agree.
Right?
I don't
So
think
it's a
most
high
people
beta
know what
stock.
beta is, though.
Well,
For the viewer out there, okay, so the amount higher than the obviously trading a stock is based on future expectations of the performance of the stock. So if you're trading much higher than the market in general, or make much more higher than what it's actually worth, the beta is going to be higher. Correct?
correct. 100%. So anything with a beta 0 or 1 is going to trade a lot more volatile than the rest of the
Market's
market.
up 418 points today.
Good.
Ended up finished up about 300 last Friday after taking a
So it was a natural correction that came down. But anyway, back to Tesla. I don't want to get off my point here, and just my point is you're absolutely wrong.
Elon. He steals other people's girlfriends.
He steals people's girlfriends.
He tells everybody he's going to produce 150,000 cars and can't produce them.
He builds power walls that he saves Puerto Rico with.
I know, that's a really good argument. I can't say that's not good. Like,
He's putting solar panels. Oh, check out these
I
solar
love
panels.
I love
new Tesla,
Puerto Rican people
the
too,
new-
man. They always work hard. They're just good people, good culture.
The new Tesla solar panels, that they look like tile roofs on your house. They're pretty cool. I want to get them for my house.
I do too.
So the solar panel is going to come through and it's going to charge that wall. Then you can charge your car, and he'll have the whole home. Tesla's only how many years old too, by the way, guys?
Do you think
Tesla is only 6 years old, 7 years old.
do you think you're going to have your home built by 2020, or is it like a 2025 thing?
What? My house?
Yeah. I'm looking at Jose over here like
My house is already built. I'm just going to change the
I'm
roof.
talking about the roof. When do you think it's going to be built by? 2025? Because the way he's producing cars, I don't know if we'll be able to give you the tiles.
Yeah, no, I'll probably be waiting around drinking my virgin cola and waiting for my virgin car to be delivered by the time that roof comes in.
You got a good counter. Speaking of that, do you like soda?
I do drink Diet Coke every now and then.
Dude, I love Coke Zero and Diet Coke, but it's
I don't like Coke
so
Zero.
bad for you.
It really is.
Right?
It's awful.
It's like you're getting that aspartame, which we all know
Yeah,
creates
it's terrible.
cancer long term.
Did you see the new study that came out? They took this. They had this. I gotta
It's
find
from
it.
the Amazon or something.
I don't. No, it's not from Amazon.
Just kidding.
I think Bezos had something to do with it. He definitely had something to do with it. But no, they totally got rid of 2 tumors in mice recently.
I put that on my Facebook page. You probably saw that from me.
No, you saw it?
I put it on my Facebook
Yeah,
page.
well, I didn't read the article though.
Um,
But we used to invest in a lot of biotechnology companies, which would be considered fluff in your world because they had an idea for a drug, and we raised money because we didn't know if the drug would work. But when it did work, we made a lot of money, and people got healthy.
the good. There's a good and bad to that. You know, the bad is like, you know, there's so many lobbyists, and so much lobbying going on in Washington that are making the drugs super expensive, right? Like you're making like 2,000% on a drug. Like I get making profit, but I also there's an understanding level here. Like this is American people we're trying to help out. You
Yeah.
know, like so like there's a balance.
No, I agree with you.
You know,
I mean,
I like to see it hyper competitive in the U.S. where there's a lot of drug manufacturers competing against each other, which drives down prices and makes it better for the consumer. But
the
there's
problem
monopolies
is
like there is in the U.S.
It's
That's
very
the issue.
expensive to get these tumor. All right, so what you have is you have these small biotech companies that come out and they raise money. They just have a theory or an idea. They're usually scientists, and they have somebody who, you know, is kind of like Elon Musk, a visionary, but he's not a CEO. And then they hire a CEO to go out, go to Wall Street and help them raise money and potentially lose investors' money. But it's very expensive to get them through the trials that they need because they have to do animal studies first, right? And then they have to go into human trials, and that's years and years and years. I think Trump actually just did something to help out the progress in that area, like with a lot of these terminally ill diseases.
Right.
Right. I think he did something recently,
So
where he's allowing more experimental drugs on people that are terminally ill.
the article that I posted about the cancer, that is like they're injecting it into mice and they're noticing that it's reducing the cancer, the tumors. So like it's going to be able to be applied to lymphoma. Let me pull up the article real quick.
Yeah,
but
I'm
it's,
looking at it right now.
it's basically going to help people with lymphoma, and it's clinical trials. But I mean, you never know. I'm sure some lobbyists will make sure it's not mass produced in the U.S.
These pharma companies are crazy, man. They make a lot of money hand over fist, and I definitely don't agree with the way that they do things. I mean, if you look at it, you know, OxyContin right now, it's one of that's causing this country to have another heroin epidemic.
It's brutal, isn't it?
Where
People
I
are
came
dying.
from, where I live in Staten Island, is really bad because kids were hooked on Oxys and Vicodin.
Is it
and
that
now
bad?
It's the worst in the country, I think, right now.
How many people just died from the flu?
I seen a handful, like mothers and older people, but
They say that between 12,000 or 15,000 and like 50,000 people in the U.S. die every year of the flu.
really.
Yeah, every other year. It's just every year. It's like it
Well,
fluctuates.
Every year they have this new flu that's coming out: the bird flu, the swine flu, this flu, that flu. It's a moneymaker.
But that's pretty. That's an amount worth talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like 50,000 people dying from the flu.
Well, listen, I think that's a marketing
Serious.
scheme. You want to talk about marketing schemes? I think getting doctors out there saying we have a big flu epidemic coming. Go get your Tamiflu.
How many people you think are addicted to? I agree with you.
What? Painkillers?
OxyContin. I agree 100%. That's huge market. Tamiflu is huge in terms of like making money. I think it's one
There's an
big
epidemic
scheme.
that's pretty bad.
I don't even get.
Listen, kids that I went to high school with are dying from overdoses. They're going to jail. These are clean cut, middle class, white kids that are shooting heroin.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
I don't know how you get addicted to heroin in the first place. If I did heroin when I was a kid,
Well, here's what happened.
do you know what my dad would have done to me?
Yeah. Well, here's what happened.
Like, he would have beat me.
Here's what, especially where I'm from, what happened was in high school, kids started taking pills in college more, the Vicodin, OxyContins of the world, right?
Right.
And they were easy to get, so you had people selling them $10, $15, $20 a drug, pill.
Oh, no,
right?
I've never tried it.
And then I'm allergic to them, I can't take them.
That's good.
I
guess
look like a
that's
heroin
pretty
addict
good.
like this. Yeah, I don't like to mess around with any of that stuff anyway. So when they stop getting the pills, you get addicted to these. Your body craves it. So that's what made all these high school kids, white kids, anybody, your body just gets addicted to it. You start snorting heroin and you start shooting it, and you're done.
Yeah, I feel like Elon Musk needs a good shot of some like codone or something like that next time he comes out with his next business idea. I just want to see him master something and just calm down for a second. Come off like this like psycho innovator high. Like, I love the idea that he's a visionary, but just to bring it back to him, like, he needs to just master one thing first. Master making the car.
I'll tell
You
you.
do that, then let's do the space thing.
Yeah.
Or just pick two.
I'll tell you what
He's
he's
trying to
done.
master like 5
He's made
things at
people a
once.
lot of money, and he's mastered the art of making people money. And and to your point, he's mastered marketing. So I don't know what else he needs. But guys, anyway, we're gonna wrap up. We
Hold on
wanna
one
thank
second.
him.
One point. For everybody that makes money in the market, there's a loser.
This is
Flamethrower.
what was that?
With a flamethrower.
With a flamethrower?
Also with a flamethrower.
That's capitalism, buddy.
Yeah.
Capitalism at its best.
I hear you.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. We're going to wrap up right now. I'm Matt Meehan. This is Anthony Dinova. Please check us out at www.againstthemirror.com. If you like what you see here, please subscribe to our YouTube page. We'll take it there. And you can also see us at against.themirror on Instagram.
I want to say thank you very much for tuning in. We're so blessed to have you as an audience. Talk to you soon.